Fuck it.
NSC Fan TV. Drew.
Angry Drew.
Angry Drew.
Hey, hold on. Is it angry? Hold on. Is it Angry Scott?
Is it Angry Scott?
Is it Angry Scott?
Is it Angry Scott? Tell us.
It's Notebook Scott.
It's Notebook Scott.
Oh,
Angry Drew and Notebook Scott. 2-2 draw that should have been a 2-0 victory against Orlando. With a late Nani and Michelle sub.
Leighton Nani and Michelle sub,
which I think did change the tempo of the game.
Which made a big difference for them.
It did.
And
but it's frustrating because
say your things because all I'm gonna do is bite my tongue.
I think I agree with the sentiment that even though the refereeing was inconsistent, generally bad, that we shouldn't have let them get the ball in those kind of positions.
That's exactly it. So
which is right, but
bad refereeing is just an occasion for them beating us to a position where they can draw a foul.
Yeah,
and that's what happened. We were in a position where we got outplayed in the midfield.
Yeah,
DK was able to get a shitty ball into a position where come here, we got to get in the frame. Was into a position where he was able to be able to draw a foul, despite the fact that he was committing a foul. How do you draw a foul when you commit a foul?
He was trying to pants him right there.
That's exactly it.
Honestly, and Zimmerman had been covering DK the whole entire game.
So it was Mayer who gave the foul.
Well, hold on. Yes. I was getting there. But Zimmerman was covering the whole game.
Yes.
I just don't know what happened between that little situation and the entire rest of the game.
Because what happened, so from what I could see, what happened was that the ball had been moved to midfield. Zimmerman had moved over because that 11 of theirs, I can't remember, it's day something, and so he had moved over, and Zimmerman had been able to, because they were overloading, and Zimmerman had moved over, and Mayer had come on to DK. And so that was the reason why DK had Mayer on.
Okay.
And so I think that so much of their game, despite the fact that nobody knows what the name of their 11 is.
Was it Moutinho?
No, Moutinho's 2. It was playing on the outside winger for them, and he had a nice game. But it was their 11 who's kind of playing in an 8 position for them. He just had a nice game. He had a nice game, and he threw us off, and that was what put Mayer in a position where he had to put hands on DK. And
but DK already had hands on him, so I don't know.
This is the problem. Tip of the hat to them to be able to draw a foul.
I'll say this though: was there a clear and obvious error?
What's this heat map? I don't even know.
His heat map.
It's a heat map.
His heat map. He was wow.
Dude,
he just got to sit.
Orso.
He just got to sit right
Junior
outside the box.
Orso. Yes.
Wow.
Thank you.
So he just sat right outside of the box.
Yeah. That's what he did.
He just sat right outside of the box. That's what that heat map just told me.
And he just created all of these occasions. And again, that's what an 8 does.
He sat right on the corner of the box.
You sit outside
and made sure that
Okay, so
and we just let that happen.
And we know, and so as a consequence, we were able to explain what happened there was that our defense got deformed by the fact that we had someone who got pulled off, and that happens. And
when you have players like DK though, it just naturally you split the defense open.
Yeah,
you've got to find somebody to get on.
There were moments where I was like, is he carving us up, or is he just, or are there just chances?
Or are they just yeah.
Okay, so let's pause. We scored 2 goals.
Sure, I guess.
And 60 minutes in.
Well, Well, here's the thing. One of them was a penalty, a set piece, where Mukhtar had a shot blocked. It was the rebound.
It was not a nice penalty.
It was not a nice penalty.
But here's the good thing. Here's the good thing about every good penalty take.
Okay.
You take a penalty and you chase it.
You chase it.
You don't take a penalty and you sit back and you're like, watch the ball and the net ripple, motherfucker. You don't say that. You say you go, you take it, you chase it.
Yeah.
And you say, and that's what Hani Mukhtar did.
That's true.
And Randall Leal's goal was nothing but stand over the ball and fucking.
That was beautiful.
Power.
I think that's right.
That was a great goal.
Yeah.
And so our two goals. And Hannibal Godoy earned that penalty.
Yeah.
First off,
I
created
have to admit,
he created
for
a
all
chance
of all of the hate I've given him, for all of the getting juked and embarrassed on live TV in front of everybody.
He did get juked tonight.
I mean, that he did draw the penalty early, but I wonder if that wasn't the issue. We're used to chasing the game.
Yeah.
What happens when we're one up after a penalty early on?
This was the problem.
We're not even right.
So I think we, sitting in our little section, had an ongoing conversation about what are we doing.
What are we doing?
We were one up, and we were still chasing the game.
No, we were acting
my answer was I would rather the ball be in our possession and us chasing the game than the ball be in at Pereira's feet or in air to DK.
Well, here's the issue,
and I'll still stand by that, because I think that what happened was that we hit 70, and we went 5 in the back. And there was no help in the front for our front.
So we went 5 in the back, and then the midfield absolutely imploded, as if it already hadn't been an issue.
Midfield was kind of a problem tonight.
Well, but hold on. But you had said possession.
Yeah.
When you look at the possession, especially the first half, we didn't have a whole lot of it.
We didn't have a lot, and so as a consequence, we needed to. So is the solution, if we didn't have a lot of possession, we need to sit back?
Well, see, here's the thing. It's maybe
that's
it's not
nonsense.
That
can't
back.
be right.
Well, but here's the thing. If we're up, why are we wasting Sapong's legs chasing
that guy ran so much for nothing.
He was running like a chicken with his head cut off for no reason.
He ran so much for nothing.
He emptied his tank fast.
He hit quickly. He hit 35. He hit 35, and I was like, we need to sub him.
We need to sub him, yeah.
He hit again. I love CJ Sapong.
Yeah.
He's a fantastic player, but he was done at 35.
He runs his legs off.
He showed up at 45, and I was like, what the hell is he doing out there? Well, he's got maybe 10 minutes left in him.
Yeah.
And then where did he? I'm going to take 1 second. Look at my notes. When did he sub off? When did Sapong come off? Sapong came off at 81. Sapong came off at 81.
The 60th would have made
sense. That dude was cooked at 35.
He was at 30.
That dude was cooked at 35. He came off at 81.
In the dressing room, that gave him an extra 5, so he got till 50.
That dude was cooked at 35, and he came off at 81.
Yeah.
That is an error, friend.
Yeah.
That is an error, friend.
I wonder if part of it, though, isn't... Well, okay, so let's talk a bit about Boyle, who came on, before I talk about Cadiz and Loba, who I was disappointed with. Boyle came on, and as normal, he was Charlie Hustle.
Charlie Hustle!
But with no results.
Kicking the ball out of bounds. Bow! Kicking the ball to the other team.
He had to make sure. He had to make sure they knew he was on the pitch.
Oh, my God.
And then he would kick it wide every time.
Oh, my God. That was so terrible.
But I do have to give him props for the hustle.
So I've said too regularly. Maybe it's going the wrong way. I have a soft spot in my heart for Charlie Hustle kids. I fucking love watching kids run.
Right.
Oh my God, I just love watching them run. But I hate watching him kick the ball to the other team. He'll run, he'll dig it out, and he'll be like, here you go, Pereira.
Here you go, great.
I hope that you do something awesome with this, because I just dug it out from your team. I'll give it back to you.
I'll give it right back.
Oh my God, it's so terrible.
Our part, we thought we were going forward. They started thinking, we can get away from 5 in the back. Turns out we needed to go 6 in the back.
Yeah. So so you and I agree there. We have a question about Ake Loba.
Oh my goodness. Loba's positioning is weird. It's weird. It's really weird.
Loba's positioning is weird.
It's weird. No, it is.
Loba's positioning is weird.
It's almost like he doesn't have a sense of where the game is quite going, right? Like he knows kind of where he needs to be, but not exactly where he needs to be. You know, like he was up front, but there'll be like 2 center backs like hovering around him. He just keeps running the same direction. And I'm like, no, you should split them up or something.
So is he a 10? Is he a what exactly? What is he playing? I don't know what 11. I know what he's doing. I don't know what he's doing.
He's not an 11.
He's so frustrating to watch. Okay, so Cadiz. Here's my problem with Cadiz. Tonight, Cadiz had good hold-up play. There were a number of times where he was able to collect the ball and say, get up here. And so that was good. There were a number of times whenever he was able to watch the ball in the air. That was good.
And I think he's tall enough to where that should be. Anyway.
But
But
very little came of any of these positive moments. And so there were plenty of times where I was like, Cadiz had a good play. Cadiz then nothing came of the thing that he did. He'd hold the ball.
He doesn't know what to do
goes
after
back.
that,
It
though.
goes backwards.
That's the thing, yeah.
And so there were these times. So
part of that is the 5 in the back. Okay, like I have to give him that.
So this is a continuation of our problem from Chicago then.
Okay.
Because the continuation of the problem with Chicago was that we hit about 55 minutes and we shifted from our wingers being wingers to our wingers being fifth backs. And so that happened tonight.
Yeah.
Where our wingers were wingers, and then there were times. So I'll take it back. There were times whenever we saw Levis and Johnston as part of the offense tonight, even into the 70th minute. But
it's true.
But it was not the kind of serious involvement that they've had before. So I agree with you. I think that the trouble that we have with our offensive substitutes is that we substitute them and we put them in a spot where they are just playing 2v4.
Yeah.
And that's not fair to them, but they're fresh. Yeah. We're playing balls to them and consistently playing balls to them, and even if they're outnumbered, they should be able to collect the ball and be able to play hold up, and they don't do that.
They should, but
they don't do that.
They don't do it.
They don't do that.
They don't do it.
All right, so I've got Mukhtar's penalty kick, the bullshit DK penalty. We've talked about that.
Yeah.
The Leal goal. Boom.
The Leal goal.
But we have one more thing to talk about, which is a consistent problem. Thank you. My consistent problem, your consistent problem, everybody at home, your consistent problem.
Okay.
Why do we consistently play out of the back?
Oh my gosh.
What Drew said.
When it becomes
what
dogma.
Drew said. What Drew said.
It's the Mourinhos, it's the Klopps that have popularized it and made it dogma. When I get the idea though, the idea is that you split their defense a little bit. You pull them forward. You try to make sure that
split their midfield. You split their midfield.
Yeah. But
split their midfield.
What it requires though is some silky passing from the defenders towards the midfield. But when you don't have a midfield,
when the midfield's emptied,
when you don't have a midfield effectively, then nothing really comes of it.
So this has been a consistent problem. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
You give the ball
and sometimes
away
you give the ball away to them.
Yeah.
And so
it requires flawless play too, on the part of the keeper, who typically, right, maybe not now, but is used to not having the ball at the
center back
and having
keepers,
to deliver it.
Center backs have to be able to do it, and then defensive midfielders need to be able to collect it and turn immediately.
Yeah.
And that we're not seeing that. And so the play out of the back has been a consistent problem. We've seen turnovers from it. We've had possession squandered. It's fucking nonsense.
Oh yeah. Instead of just targeting somebody down the pitch.
All right, so we have one last thing to talk about.
Okay.
Their tying goal. Their tying goal.
Okay.
One more set. One more time. One more time. One more time. One more fucking time. You know what it was? It was a fucking set piece.
It was a
fucking set piece, and we're not fucking ready. It's a fucking set piece, and we're not fucking ready. It's a fucking set piece, and we're not fucking ready. Was it a set piece?
It was a set piece.
Were we fucking ready?
Hell no.
No. It was a fucking set piece, and we were fucking ready. We got fucking backsided, and then we fucking
under our butts.
Be careful. Don't touch it with your hands. It's a fucking set piece, and we were fucking ready, and it fucking happened again. What the fuck? That's what I have to say.
You know what? I have nothing to add.
NSC Fan TV. Fuck all y'all.